I'd been in seclusion for 600 years. When I emerged, a persistent voice, claiming to be a system, chattered in my ear. He's the Demon Lord. You fell in love with him at first sight. The Demon Lord dares show his face here. Killing the merman is the Destiny Child's pet. I told you, don't disturb my cultivation, I retorted. If I kill you, I can't kill them. They all belong to the Destiny Child. Are you telling me what to do? Shut your mouth, I sneered. Look carefully. This is the cultivation world. The strong prey on the weak. The strong have the right to speak. The great Tao is merciless, viewing all things in the world as mere ants. I refuse to be an ant. Anyone who blocks my path will be killed. Little Gloomy Fries reminds you. The novel Ancient Moon Immortal officially begins. My name is Ling Buyu. I was born with a sword bone. After a millennium of cultivation as a mortal, my cultivation had reached the peak tribulation transcension stage. Immortality was but a thought away. I had been in seclusion for 600 years, advancing from the nascent soul stage to the tribulation transcension stage. Yet the heavenly tribulation lightning had never struck. I figured my comprehension was lacking. So, I emerged from seclusion, only to find a self-proclaimed system trying to sway my mind. You're lucky you don't have a body, or I'd fight you 800 times over. I couldn't find its physical form, nor could I shake it off. I gripped my sword hilt. I saw a man, covered in blood, clutching a peach blossom, collapsed on the mountain, sprawled across the downhill steps. I ignored him and stepped over him. You can't leave. He's the Demon Lord. You fell in love with him at first sight. The Demon Lord. Indeed, heaven favors me. Ling Buyu, killing the Demon Lord, solving the cultivation world's greatest enemy. I will naturally ascend, I thought. I drew my sword, aiming directly for his heart. What a cultivator, daring to launch a sneak attack. He sensed my killing intent and awoke. Without a word, I unleashed another sword strike. The Nine-Song Sword Art. Your Nine Essence Master's disciple. Who are you? He was startled, feeling a profound weakness. He had been the Demon Lord for 500 years, and in the cultivation world, only Chi Rua could contend with him. It had been a long time since he'd felt so utterly suppressed. Ling Buyu. Remember me, Ling Buyu. She's actually Chi Rua's junior sister. Today I'm wounded. We'll fight another day. Who said you could leave? There won't be another day. But his movements were slippery and familiar, and he fled swiftly through the surrounding terrain. I sheathed my sword. It seemed this Demon Lord and my senior brother knew each other. I wasn't worried he wouldn't come. My sword art, the Nine Songs Incantation, was taught by the Venerable Nine Essence Master, the sect leader of the Bright Moon sect. After his death, he passed the position to his eldest disciple, Chi Rua. As the twilight descended, a flying crane brought a message. The current eldest disciple of the Bright Moon sect led a group of disciples down the mountain path to greet me. Aunt Ling, my master is still handling sect affairs and sent me to welcome you, he said. I nodded and followed him. We walked further, and a grand, imposing sect came into view. Aunt Ling, you may not know, but in the 600 years you've been in seclusion, Master has cultivated to the spirit transformation stage. Our Bright Moon sect's reputation has soared, and we are now the 6th-ranked major sect. Cultivation stages are divided into Foundation Establishment, Golden Core, Nascent Soul, Spirit Transformation, and Tribulation Transcension. 600 years, and the world has changed so much. I wonder if my Lingxiao Pavilion is still the same. Lingxiao Pavilion is just as you left it. Don't worry about sect matters. If there's nothing urgent, don't come and tell me, I said. But the eldest disciple hesitated and didn't lead me back to Lingxiao Pavilion. Aunt Ling, you may not know, but because Lingxiao Pavilion is on its own mountain, with beautiful and peaceful scenery, our junior sister, Yu Feiyuan, took a liking to it. She has lived there for 200 years. Yu Feiyuan is the Destiny Child of this world. Everything that happens benefits her. You should just make way for her, the system said. I stopped, frowning. So, Master's meaning is, it's inconvenient for junior sister to move, so Lingxiao Pavilion should be given to her? Any other pavilion on this mountain will do, as long as it's not Lingxiao Pavilion? I tightened my grip on the sword hilt. Go tell your master, Chi Rua, that I want the Bright Moon sect leader's treasure vault. See if he's willing to give that up, he cried, not daring to utter such rebellious words. I told him to go quickly and inform Chi Rua. I then walked alone, following my memories, up the mountain path to Lingxiao Pavilion. Every blade of grass and tree on the mountain was exactly as I remembered. Except the mountain was no longer planted with Lingxiao flowers, but with phoenix flowers. It was called Lingxiao Pavilion because Master, indulging my surname Ling, named it so. This house is so cold. It was wasted on some people before. Fei Yuan is so smart to make it so warm, so we can drink and celebrate and not waste the house. Isn't it because a cold-blooded beauty used to live here? I heard she was the previous sect leader's favorite disciple, with a natural sword bone, exceptionally talented, and incredibly arrogant. I wonder how cold she was. Would she freeze to death if you hugged her? I heard she cultivated on a snowy mountain for 200 years just for cultivation. Oh my, she must have a cold palace womb and can't have children. She can't have children. She's quite pathetic, but she definitely can't get married. Useless. Bang! I split the main door of Lingxiao Pavilion with a single sword strike. Greetings, everyone. I am Ling Buyu. I saw the men and women in the house showed no surprise. It seemed they knew I was returning today and deliberately spoke those words for me to hear. Ling Buyu. A male disciple spoke first. I slashed his face with my sword. It's Aunt Ling, the male disciple cried, clutching his face. The house immediately erupted in chaos. I stood at the doorway, leaving them nowhere to escape. Which one spoke just now? I confirmed it was these 5 people who had spoken. I killed them all with one strike. I sheathed my sword and looked at the 5 corpses, a rare smile gracing my lips. Everyone, you don't know much about me. I never step on ants, nor do I allow ants to step on me. Those who block my path to cultivation will be killed without mercy. Those who block my path to immortality, gods and demons alike, will be slain. You actually killed fellow disciples. Cultivation itself is about the strong preying on the weak, competing for the world's spiritual energy. In essence, we are all competitors. Those no fighting and killing statements are hypocritical pronouncements from the cultivation world's sanctimonious individuals. I saw Yu Feiyuan in the crowd. She was easy to spot, dressed lavishly, with a delicate and beautiful face, surrounded by admirers. So this was the Destiny Child. Unfortunately, what she had done had already sealed her fate. What would happen if I killed her? Let's find out. I gripped my sword and pointed it at her. A sword behind me blocked mine. Despite this, Yu Feiyuan was sent flying, spitting blood. Ling Buyu. Qi Rua caught Yu Feiyuan's body. You are so vicious. You actually tried to kill her. Is this your first day knowing me? If it weren't for the sect leader's legacy sword, she'd be dead already. This was the first time I'd seen my senior brother in 600 years. The last time was by Master's coffin. He held Yu Feiyuan tightly, refusing to let go, and we stood in a stalemate. Finally, he said to those present, everyone, move out. Lingxiao Pavilion belongs to Aunt Ling. From now on, no one is allowed to disturb Aunt Ling. Yu Feiyuan, spitting blood like a sick beauty, tugged at Qi Rua's sleeve. Master, he wants my life. Is this how it ends? He grimaced and said nothing, carrying Yu Feiyuan away. Junior sister, it's fine. You don't need to leave Lingxiao Pavilion. The sect is in chaos. I'm afraid you'll be annoyed if you see it. I closed my eyes and said nothing. See, I've grounded her. She is my junior sister after all. It's been 600 years. And it turns out she's only good with her mouth. I rose from my meditative posture. There was movement outside. I grabbed my sword and stepped out. A man in disciple robes was watering the phoenix flower tree outside. He had long, curled eyelashes and exquisite, upturned eyes. His hair was pure black, but his pupils were lighter, taking on a soft, warm hue in the sunlight. Hello, he greeted me nervously, bowing. I saw faint scales on his forehead. A merman? What are you doing here? Junior sister, you asked me to water the flowers. I come every day. May I ask if you are Ling Buyu? He could barely speak. You're back? Then junior sister, you left. You should leave too. You don't need to water anymore. I went back to my room, but he lingered, refusing to leave. If I don't finish, she'll scold me. What does that have to do with me? I slammed the door shut, cutting off all outside contact. Yet, he came every day, persistently watering the plants. I toyed with the sword in my hand, fiddling with the hilt. So annoying. Kill him? I looked at the fiery phoenix flowers outside. I reconsidered, then got up and left. I hadn't visited Master's memorial in a long time. I walked through the sect with my sword, hearing someone call out to me from afar. It was Yu Feiyuan. How had she recovered so quickly after such severe injuries just a few days ago? Aunt Ling, don't let the recent rumors in the sect bother you. Everyone was just idly chatting. I glanced at her, said nothing, and continued towards the ancestral hall. After offering incense at the ancestral hall, I returned, hearing them loudly discussing. Have you all heard? Ling Buyu is so arrogant because Nine Essence Master liked her. His liking for her far exceeded a master's affection for a disciple. What? Then I stopped. The group feigned greetings. Good day, Aunt Ling. What did you just say? Can you repeat it? I didn't hear you clearly. Just rumors, they mumbled. I killed the speaker with a sword strike, then asked the person next to him. What did he just say? I didn't hear clearly. He dared not speak, so I killed him too. The disciples scattered in terror. I used spiritual energy to create a barrier, trapping them in place. Who can repeat what was just said? The disciples began to wail, kneeling and begging me. Aunt Ling, we didn't mean to. It wasn't us who said it. Please spare us. Yu Feiyuan appeared out of nowhere, frantically slapping my barrier. Aunt Ling, if you keep acting so recklessly, my master will come. I dispelled the barrier. I was just playing with these disciples, right? The disciples, faces ashen, nodded frantically, saying, no, nothing. Yu Feiyuan hadn't expected things to unfold as she imagined. She saw the corpses on the ground but had no time to speak. I retorted, when you met me just now, you mentioned some rumors about me. What was that about? Yu Feiyuan smiled smugly. Purity is most important for a young woman. No woman would hear those words and not get angry. Aunt Ling, don't be angry. There's a rumor that you and the former sect leader, Nine Essence Master, had an ambiguous relationship. I turned to the trembling disciples. Are there such rumors? No, nothing at all. They almost prostrated themselves, shouting, no. I kicked Yu Feiyuan's leg, breaking it and forcing her to kneel. I squeezed her chin. They all say no, so you're the only one who said it? Disturbing the sect? Your intentions are punishable by death. Her face turned pale from the pain, yet she still stubbornly insisted. My master is the sect leader. You can't kill me. I grabbed her collar and dragged her, leaving a trail of blood, to the ancestral hall. Go talk to sect leader Nine Essence Master yourself. You can personally ask him if our relationship was merely that of master and disciple. Ling Buyu, let go of me. Qi Rua arrived just in time, but I was faster. I swung my sword, slitting Yu Feiyuan's throat. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she collapsed. Qi Rua pushed aside the onlookers and caught Yu Feiyuan in his arms, casting spells and feeding her pills. Ling Buyu, how dare you? Qi Rua, mind your tone. I killed someone who slandered my late master. You should be kneeling and thanking me. He looked at his hands, covered in Yu Feiyuan's blood, and frowned in pain. Ling Buyu, you actually dared to kill her. I kill whoever I want to kill. Qi Rua, can you stop me? Do you dare to stop me? I turned to leave, throwing the two dead disciples in front of Qi Rua. Disrespecting elders, disturbing the sect. I killed these two for you. Just for that, they had to die? I ran my hand over the sword. If you don't discipline them, they will certainly die by my hand. So, please discipline your disciples well. If they don't provoke me, they won't die. I was about to leave when I saw Yu Feiyuan revived once more. Qi Rua used heavenly treasures on her without batting an eye. How interesting. Who was it exactly who had an ambiguous relationship with master? Who has an affair with their own master? And who sees others in the same light? I said, then left. Yu Feiyuan coughed up blood. Infuriated, returning, I saw the merman standing at the mountain gate. Aunt Ling, are you all right? I heard you. He saw the blood on my clothes. Are you injured? Is it serious? I pushed away his hand that was grasping my clothes. Get lost. He left, dejected. I went back to wash my clothes. Soon after, he returned, carrying a pile of healing salves. Aunt Ling, I know you're wary of me, but I truly care about you. Please don't push me away, okay? Let me ask you first. Today, I injured your master, Yu Feiyuan. What are your thoughts? He gave an awkward smile. What is Aunt Ling talking about? I swiftly seized his wrist. Such strong master-servant energy. You wouldn't think I'm blind, would you? I'm undergoing tribulation, just a little short of comprehension, already half immortal. Is there anything that can escape my eyes? Before he could say anything, I killed him, disemboweling him. Indeed, a merman who couldn't even properly shapeshift had a core full of impurities. Yet, I found a fox demon's core on him. It was the core of a spirit transformation stage demon. I tidied up and went to find Yu Feiyuan with my sword. Only the two of us were in the room. I stepped on her. What is this? You killed him. If you have the guts, kill me too. Alright, I won't say more. I stabbed her heart with a sword. I stood in her room for a long time, making sure she was completely lifeless. Looking at the shimmering demon core in my hand, an idea formed in my mind. Why are you silent? System, you saw her die. Are you scared? Don't you like talking? Lunatic. You're a lunatic. She's the Destiny Child. How could you kill her? And you killed her twice in one day. The moonlight outside was perfect. I crushed the demon core, and the demonic energy within it swirled around me. I told you, anyone who blocks my path deserves to die. So, are you going to replace her with another Destiny Child now? I won't replace her. She won't die. She's the Destiny Child. She won't die. Good. I'll wait and see. The next day, the sect's large bell rang, a rare occurrence, summoning everyone to a meeting. I saw Yu Feiyuan, lively and well. She's really alive. How many more times do I have to kill her? How interesting. The demon core, my gift to Immortal Feinen for his birthday, has gone missing. The birthday banquet is approaching, so please everyone, pay close attention. Everyone engaged in polite chatter for a while longer before Yu Feiyuan seemingly timidly spoke. Last night, I saw Aunt Ling holding it. Perhaps Aunt Ling wanted to break through and used it. This was indeed not a lie. I had held it. I had used it. I said nothing, watching Yu Feiyuan act out her emotional performance. Perhaps Aunt Ling didn't do it on purpose, but among so many people, none of us can withstand the demonic energy of a spirit transformation demon core. Only Aunt Ling has such cultivation and wouldn't explode and die. She looked at me worriedly. Aunt Ling doing this is tantamount to putting the entire sect on fire. Immortal Feinen and Master are close friends. Master searched for this gift for 2 years and placed it under the moonlight to absorb spiritual energy. You are too selfish. That's right. Everything was fine until she came back and it was stolen. If not her, then who? Thieves and robbers. Do not insult Aunt Ling. We are all disciples of the Bright Moon sect. Junior sister, you don't need to speak for her. Today, the sect leader is here, and he will surely make her pay the price. I never thought Aunt Ling would be like this. Junior sister is still so kind. Even after being injured by her yesterday, she still speaks for her. Yu Feiyuan smiled shyly and knelt before sect leader Qi Rua. I think there's still something here that shouldn't be wrongly accused. To prove Aunt Ling's innocence, she walked towards me again. Now, the only way to prove your innocence is to cut open your stomach and see if your spiritual talisman has demonic energy. Only one night had passed, and the demonic energy hadn't fully transformed into my own spiritual energy. I said nothing, just looked at her. She said hypocritically, Aunt Ling, just cutting open your stomach won't kill you. It's all to prove your innocence. I agree with the suggestion to cut open the stomach and check for demonic energy in the body. Everyone looked at me in shock. I waved my hand, setting up a barrier to isolate everyone, leaving only Yu Feiyuan and me. A long sword hovered over her stomach. My voice was as calm as ever. Don't move. Be careful. If my hand shakes, I might dig out your heart. I never said I was going to cut open my own stomach. Yu Feiyuan had no time to struggle. Qi Rua, seated above, also had no time to save her. I disemboweled her. Look, is this demonic energy? She cried out, spitting blood. This is impossible. This is impossible. I didn't touch it. Did the fish soup taste good this morning? I asked her. She reached out, trying to grab me. It's you. It's you. You framed me. Did the fish meat taste good? The mermaids? Now you two are good master and servant. Inseparable. I opened the barrier, watching Yu Feiyuan crawl to Qi Rua's feet. Master, it wasn't me. He framed me. Master, you must do justice for me. Before Qi Rua could speak, I had already cut down the people who had been discussing me in the main hall. He stared with wide eyes at the blood-soaked hall. What exactly do you want? I ignored him, looking at Yu Feiyuan. She shivered under my gaze, hiding behind Qi Rua. Long ago, when Master and I were discussing the Tao, we encountered this problem. What to do if someone framed you by making you eat something. At that time, my answer was to take a detour, use other people's eyes to look into my stomach and see if there was any food. Later, I thought, other people's eyes are too dirty. I couldn't bear to eat them. It's better to just cut open the stomach quickly. As long as I cut open everyone's stomach except mine, I wouldn't have trouble finding the missing food. If I cut open 100 people's stomachs and still didn't find it, I'd continue until 1,000 people, once found, it would prove it wasn't me. Yu Feiyuan's face lost all color, and she couldn't even speak. You should thank me. The first stomach I cut open was yours. If I had cut open the stomachs of 100 or 1,000 people in the sect before finding it was you, do you think they would resent me or resent you, who were unclean with your hands and caused them unwarranted disaster? She suddenly looked up at me, no longer foolish or frivolous as before, staring intently, as if seeing me clearly for the first time. And this look was also the first time I clearly saw her intelligent gaze. This was how the Destiny Child should be. You shouldn't have provoked her. In the end, she never loses. Chirua was by Yufeyuan's bed, attending to her meticulously and gently. I don't like her. You never mentioned her. If she was just an ordinary junior sister, why did you never speak of her? Could it be there was something dirty in your heart? No, it's not. It's just that I didn't want to mention her. On my path to the Tao, I hated her. I envied her. After she went into seclusion for 600 years, I slowly came to terms with it. I didn't expect to actually break through the nascent soul bottleneck that had plagued me for so long. But when I thought that my breakthrough was because I no longer envied her, or that it was still related to her, I felt a knot in my heart. So I never mentioned her. Yufeyuan murmured. He was always so strong. He was always like that, aloof and arrogant. He couldn't tolerate anyone in his eyes, only himself and his Tao. Ling Buyu isn't a simple mortal who entered the Tao. He entered the Tao through killing. He came from a noble general's family. His parents died on the battlefield when he was 13. At 16, his uncle's family forced him to marry an elderly emperor. He fled the marriage, and people chased him all the way. He killed all the way, and after killing all the pursuers, he didn't run. Instead, he went back and killed his uncle's family who had flattered the emperor, killed his cousin who insulted him, and even killed the emperor who issued the decree. I don't care what your reasons are. If you block my path, you deserve to die. He wasn't bloodthirsty. He was very calm. Those who died by his hand were as thin as paper. On the escape route, there were starving vagrants and beggars, desperately pleading for a bowl of rice. Yet, officials at the imperial capital were thinking about taking more concubines. The emperor would like Miss Li, still in her prime. They wondered if young Master Wang liked her or Miss Zhang. Young Master Wang, however, was embracing two women at once, not delaying. The lowly had to bow to the noble, the poor had to beg the rich, women had to beg men, women begged men not to leave. There were 9 distinct social strata, but in truth, everyone's lives were the same, equally fragile, shattering with a touch. Ling Buyu, covered in blood, suddenly looked at the sky and laughed. The great Tao is merciless. All living things are like ants, an ant that can be crushed with one foot. Before the heavenly Tao, what strength or weakness does it have? What gender? Being the strongest ant is useless. I want to be heaven. I, Ling Buyu, want to be heaven. Then he had an epiphany and embarked on the path of cultivation. A mortal entering the Tao through killing shocked the cultivation world. They went to investigate and found she even had a natural sword bone. What a pity, she's a woman. Cultivation itself is about contending with heaven, breaking the shackles of this world's heavenly Tao, and stepping out of this sword to go to another place, already extremely difficult. There's a saying, harder than ascending to heaven. Women were also seen as delicate, incapable of bearing heavy responsibilities, and difficult to persevere. Therefore, women cultivating immortals was hundreds of times harder than for men. Ling Buyu spat. He spat in front of the great sects of the cultivation world. Since cultivators embarked on the path of immortality, they understood they were going against heaven. This journey is to contend with heaven, as difficult as ascending to heaven. Shouldn't that have been clear from the start? Since we are all contending with heaven, how much easier is it to differentiate between genders? Under the heavenly Tao, all are ants. There is no strength or weakness, no gender, and no harder or easier. How much harder can it be? It's still as hard as ascending to heaven. Ling Buyu, merely at the foundation establishment stage, was never defeated by their words. He never offered his sword bone in exchange for protection. How can a carp know its true potential when confined to a small pond, mistaking its small world for the vast ocean? He would not be an ant, nor a confined carp. He, Ling Buyu, wanted to be heaven. No hardship would defeat him. Anyone who blocked his path to cultivation would be killed without mercy. Anyone who blocked his path to immortality, gods and demons alike, would be slain. Finally, Nine Essence Master, with his benevolent and righteous demeanor, forcefully took him as a disciple, wanting him to walk the righteous path. What is the righteous path? You must not kill the innocent. I never kill the innocent. I only kill those who block my path. They are people who don't have eyes and don't understand words. Benevolence and loyalty are the fundamental principles of being human. I am loyal to myself. I have achieved loyalty. I never kill the innocent. I have achieved benevolence. Forgive where possible. And do not create killing karma. Master, is it creating killing karma when you kill demons and extract their cores? The cultivation world is full of martial arts competitions where death and injury are not questioned. Is that not creating killing karma? He didn't wait for Nine Essence Master to answer, but asked again, if Master's Tao is benevolence, not creating killing karma, then what about the heavenly tribulation lightning of the heavenly Tao for those who ascend and undergo tribulation, which has killed countless cultivators? Master, do you think your Tao and the heavenly Tao are consistent? If not, why do you still wish to ascend? Nine Essence Master closed his eyes and said nothing. He stood up. Master, our Taos are different. We don't conspire together. Your Tao cannot teach me anything. He looked at the disciples kneeling around Nine Essence Master, listening to his teachings. He picked up his meditation cushion and walked towards the main door. Master, these Taos you speak of are merely hypocritical acts by the high-ranking members of the cultivation world to solidify their positions. They gained their current achievements by killing people, seizing treasures, and killing demons for their cores. Then they feared others would do the same and suppress them, so they put on this facade. Above me, everyone is equal. Below me, there are 9 different classes. Master, I uphold my Tao, and I respect yours. But if you block me and prevent me from following my Tao, then I will kill you. Until now, Nine Essence Master had been teaching for hundreds of years, and never had a disciple thrown down their meditation cushion and threatened to kill him. The eldest disciple, Chi Rua, stood up and reprimanded him, but Nine Essence Master shook his head. I thought that with Chi Rua, my disciple, our master-disciple bond was already profound. Chi Rua's talent is higher than his, but his future achievements may not be better. He comprehended the Tao at 16, and his Tao heart is incredibly firm. His mind is steadfast and unaffected by external influences. This woman has boundless prospects. That was the first time Chi Rua heard his master praise someone so highly, especially someone who had offended him. As a favored son of heaven, he felt jealousy for the first time, but Ling Buyu never paid attention to his jealous gaze. In his eyes, there was no one but himself and his Tao. Within 500 years, Ling Buyu, a person without any inherent spiritual cultivation, surprisingly reached the nascent soul stage. Meanwhile, Chi Rua was stuck at the nascent soul bottleneck for 200 years. The Bright Moon sect became lively. Originally, it was a small sect that Nine Essence Master found convenient for teaching, but it was conquered by the world. Many wives from major sects even came to arrange marriages for their sons with Ling Buyu. Chi Rua watched these wives inquire about Ling Buyu's appearance, and his heart filled with fear. If Ling Buyu were to be favored by a major sect and become a young mistress of a sect, wouldn't her status be higher than his? Would he, a grandmaster, have to bow to her in the future and flatter her husband in front of her? No, he couldn't allow it. If Ling Buyu surpassed him in cultivation, he would respect her, but if it was because she married into a good family, it was absolutely impossible. He looked down on her. Ling Buyu rejected those wives with a single sentence. I entered the Tao through killing, and what I killed were my prospective husband and my natal family. Chi Rua breathed a sigh of relief. Ling Buyu brushed past him. This time, however, she stopped. Why should I care if you respect me? What are you? Chi Rua felt as if he had been slapped twice. Ling Buyu was a genius, with such high comprehension. She must be very intelligent. She had long seen through the sordid thoughts in his heart. That's right. Was it because her cultivation was higher than his, or something else? Nothing he said mattered. His evaluation was completely insignificant to her. Ling Buyu went into seclusion again to break through the nascent soul bottleneck. Chi Rua covered his face numbly. What was wrong with him? Why couldn't he break through? But a few days later, 3 old friends of Nine Essence Master invited Nine Essence Master to a banquet. They killed Nine Essence Master and told Chi Rua to retrieve his body. Your Bright Moon sect is too restless. You actually dared to covet a place among the top 10 sects. Which sect do you want to replace? Which sect do you want to push out? The Bright Moon sect only has 9 Essence Master at the spirit transformation stage. The rest are insignificant golden core and nascent soul cultivators who can't turn things around. If we don't act now, the Bright Moon sect will step all over us. Chi-Rua gnashed his teeth as he brought back Nine Essence Master's corpse and prepared for the funeral. Those people were all at the spirit transformation stage, just like Nine Essence Master. He, being only at the nascent soul stage, had no power to resist. He could only bide his time and plan for the future. Ling Buyu emerged from seclusion. He heard Nine Essence Master had died. He couldn't continue his seclusion. Senior brother, what are your thoughts? A gentleman's revenge is not too late in 10 years. I've remembered this grudge. In the future, I will make them repay it 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold. I don't like that saying. I'm not a gentleman. I'm a woman. Ling Buyu touched Nine Essence Master's coffin, trembling. Chi-Rua thought she, usually so cold and heartless, was finally crying, but she was trembling with laughter. Master, is this your Tao of benevolence? You lost your life for your benevolence. I told you long ago. The cultivation world is about the strong preying on the weak. The strong kill people as easily as chopping vegetables. Only the strongest can make the rules. If you are benevolent to others, others will not be benevolent to you. So-called benevolence and dominance are both forms of Tao, both serving cultivation, but if you put the cart before the horse, you naturally deviate from your own Tao. Ling Buyu took out the funerary artifacts and treasures from the coffin. He took the sect leader's legacy sword. What are you doing? Those artifacts are Master's burial objects. That sword is the sect leader's sword. Only the next sect leader can take it. Everyone's dead, just a handful of dust. What use are these things? It's better for me to use them to avenge him. Make good use of them. A sword is a good sword, best for killing people. What do you want to do? You and I are only at the great perfection of the nascent soul stage. Those three are at the spirit transformation stage. If you go now, you'll just be seeking death. Senior brother, are you willing to help me? You're going to seek death. Can you not be so arrogant? Senior brother, are you willing to help me? Chi-Rua looked at him. He was still the same as always, or perhaps he had always been like this. How do we do it? Chi-Rua asked him. He was also a hot-blooded man and wanted to avenge his master. Hold a grand funeral for master. Invite guests. Once the guests are seated, close and lock the doors. Control the entire Bright Moon sect and kill them all, leaving no one alive. Chi-Rua reluctantly handled the funeral arrangements. Ling Buyu took all the elixirs from the Bright Moon sect. That was the only period when Chi-Rua and Ling Buyu coexisted peacefully, without resentment or jealousy, like ordinary senior and junior siblings. When the guests were all seated, Ling Buyu walked in with his sword. Chi-Rua closed the doors and instructed the disciples to guard the Bright Moon sect, allowing no one in or out. Ling Buyu took 32 elixirs, risking shattered meridians and spontaneous combustion, forcefully entering the spirit transformation stage. He fought the 3 murderers for 4 days and 4 nights, finally achieving a narrow victory. Chi-Rua led his people and killed the 800 disciples the 3 murderers had brought. When they returned to the sect, it was in ruins. Seeing Chi-Rua return, the remaining guests begged him to lift the Bright Moon sect's restrictions and let them leave. We have nothing to do with this. We have always admired Nine Essence Master. He's a lunatic. He's a lunatic. Chi-Rua followed the crowd's gaze. Ling Buyu was unrecognizable, his face covered in blood. His right arm hung limply, clearly broken. His robes were soaked in blood, leaving a bloody footprint with every step. Yet, his voice was still unwavering, completely normal. Everyone, was today's show entertaining? No one dared to speak. Lunatics who didn't fear death were common in the cultivation world, but lunatics favored by the heavenly Tao were rare. A red light from the heavenly Tao surrounded him, clearly a commendation from heaven, recognizing his boundless future and stable Tao heart, a reward for his insight into heavenly secrets and discovery of truth. Chi-Rua let them leave. Ling Buyu leaned on his sword to keep himself from falling. Only after everyone had left did he cough up a mouthful of blood and collapse. I still need to take the heads of those 3 old dogs and nail them to their sex plaque. What a battle, Ling Buyu said, spitting blood. Chi-Rua, however, stood still. He was favored by the heavenly Tao, and his reputation had soared after this battle. Everyone worshipped him. Currently, the Bright Moon sect had no leader. Master had died suddenly, without naming a successor. If he were to kill her during her tribulation, he could gain her immortal bone and the position of sect leader. If she died by his hand, his jealousy and unwillingness would vanish. He was the only favored son of heaven. Jealousy meant he felt someone inferior to him had something he desired but didn't possess. Senior brother, are you thinking of killing me? Chi Rua had been so lost in thought that he hadn't noticed when she sat up. He was startled. On his blood-stained face, her eyes were exceptionally bright, staring intently at him. Against the backdrop of the heavenly Tao's red light, she looked like a greedy ghost who hadn't achieved her desires. But who was the truly greedy ghost? He propped himself up, dragging his body to offer incense to Master. His hands trembled so much he couldn't even hold the incense. He kowed out 3 times. Master, rest in peace. Your enemies are dead. I don't agree with your Tao, but I respect you. Chi Rua was flustered by her words and hastily tried to explain. I didn't think of killing you. I just felt sad for Master that he couldn't lead you onto the righteous path until his death, couldn't teach you benevolence and not to create killing karma. I feel sorry for Master, and I feel sorry for you. Since you like listening to Master's teaching so much, I'll send you to the Yellow Springs to listen to them daily. His hands were shaking so much he couldn't even hold the sword, yet Chi Rua was still afraid. He took a step back, tripped over a fallen limb, and fell to the ground. She came over with the sect leader's legacy sword, the tip pointed at him. He was too scared to stand up. Here, the sect leader, it's yours. He handed her the sect leader's legacy sword. I need to go into seclusion for cultivation. The sect is a burden to me. He saw that he wouldn't take it, so he threw the sword on the ground. He looked up, squinting at the sunlight. Actually, there are countless paths to cultivation. There's never a right or wrong. It all depends on whether your Tao heart is stable and if you are diligent enough. What you call the Tao of benevolence is the righteous path of cultivation. My Tao is also the righteous path. If we really want to distinguish right from wrong, the red light of the heavenly Tao falls on me. Who is right and who is wrong is clear at a glance. He no longer paid attention to Chi Rua, dragging his body away. The great Tao is merciless, viewing all things as mere ants. Ants have no distinction of strength, weakness, or gender. These are just distinctions that ants themselves have made into 9 different classes, because they want to be the most powerful ants. I don't want to be an ant. I want to be heaven. I, Ling Buyu, want to be heaven. Chi Rua was stunned by his words. To speak such words, and to speak them so self-righteously, he was a complete opportunist, an emperor of his own world. No hardship could defeat him. Hardship was merely the prelude to blossoming. Everyone believed that a tree standing out in the forest would be destroyed by the wind, but he was alone, cold-hearted and detached. I walk my own path. Those are just a few winds and frosts. If you have the guts, kill me. Otherwise, just watch me ascend to immortality. Late at night, an unexpected visitor arrived at Lingxiao Pavilion. Yu Feiyuan, what are you doing here? I asked him. He knelt before me with a thud. I've come to confess my sins. What sin? You are the sect leader's favorite disciple. I can't punish you. It was I who was ignorant before and harmed you. I've come to admit my mistake and beg for your forgiveness. Are you scared? Are you still afraid of framing and harming me? No, it wasn't my intention. A self-proclaimed system told me to do it. He held out his wrist, showing me a glowing green bracelet. How beautiful, I thought. That was the system's physical form. I just wanted to live. I just wanted revenge. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I grew interested. Continue. I died long ago, 20 years ago. I survived on a surge of resentment, my soul refusing to dissipate. Then the system chose me. It found me a body. It gave me benefits. Anyone who saw me would feel a fondness for me. But I need the system's energy to maintain this body that should have long been dead. That's also why I could revive after you killed me. I drew my sword and placed it at his throat. No wonder I'm interested in you. If it were anyone else, you would have been dead the moment you stepped into Lingxiao Pavilion. He shivered at my sword's coldness and continued. This system said it was originally the heavenly Tao of one of 3,000 worlds. Because an immortal suffered the loss of his beloved, he went mad and destroyed the entire world. After being defeated, it reluctantly came to this world to gather strength. It chose me. He chuckled self-deprecatingly. The so-called Destiny Child is actually just who it thinks is lucky enough to be chosen by it. The system wanted me to constantly suppress you and frame you, trapping you in a woman's battlefield, so that the red light of the heavenly Tao on your body would gradually disappear. Then it would use your natural sword bone, your half-immortal body, to replace the heavenly Tao of our world. I asked him, then why didn't you continue according to the original plan and why did you come to find me? He knelt before me. If this is exposed now, I won't live. You will surely kill me. I only truly understood what kind of person you are today. Before, I thought you couldn't possibly surpass the system. Now, I feel that nothing is impossible for you. Then why do you think I'll let you go? The system isn't in a hurry. I can kill you, then deal with future matters. He actually grabbed my sword blade with his bare hands. I don't think you will. I think you'll favor me. I rarely raised an eyebrow. On what basis? Based on one sentence. I know a sentence you said 600 years ago. A gentleman's revenge is not too late in 10 years. You said you didn't like that sentence. You said, I'm not a gentleman. I'm a woman. She met my gaze. Based on the fact that I am a woman. Based on your attitude. Based on my ambition. What ambition? I will be the first woman in the world to attain the Tao by killing her father. An immortal who ascended, but is cunning, unkind, not gentle, and unconventional. Did the system tell you these things? Or did you figure them out yourself? I was rarely pleased. For the first time, I felt that someone in this world understood what I was contending for, what I was fighting for. I figured it out myself. Ling Buyu, am I the person who understands you best in these 1,000 years? I sheathed my sword. He rose from his kneeling position to stand, looking me directly in the eye, open and honest. I asked him, I've been alive for 900 years now, almost 1,000, but in 50,000 years, how many people have undergone tribulation and ascended to immortality? Yu Fei Yuan. I'll tell you, only 11. And how many of them were women? 2. One had a bodhisattva heart, accumulated merits through 8 reincarnations, and during her 100,000 years of cultivation to become an immortal, she refused to use her immortal blood to nourish the common people. In the end, she withered and died. The heavenly Tao, moved by her virtue of self-sacrifice and dedication, re-enlightened her into an immortal. The second, I chuckled. I don't mean to disrespect them. I just think the heavenly Tao is too harsh and rigid towards women. The second is the well-known story of a virtuous wife. After she married, her husband didn't love her and had concubines. Her parents-in-law disliked her, and the servants made things difficult. One day, her husband's family declined, and she took care of everyone, including the concubine and her children, for 12 full years. When her husband rose again, she didn't enjoy a life of ease. She became pregnant but miscarried due to years of labor. Guess what she said? Yu Fei Yuan shook her head. She said, I shouldn't be so sad. I only lost one child, but my husband lost his legitimate son and child. The concubines saw her crying heartbroken over the child and asked if she resented her husband for not taking good care of her, calling her a selfish and weak mother, admonishing her not even to cry lest she upset the head of the family. Yu Fei Yuan fell silent, as if she had thought of something. Finally, after she died, her husband cried inconsolably before her coffin, pounding his chest. He said, she was a good woman, a good wife, a good daughter-in-law. Then, heaven was moved, and she and a virtuous wife ascended together. The common point? They never enjoyed life while they were alive. Attaining the Tao and becoming immortal depended entirely on whether the heavenly Tao was willing, but it was much easier for men. Hard work would always pay off. Cultivate well, step by step. If their comprehension was good, they would ascend at the same age. But women in the cultivation world either married, taking care of their husbands and children, and had no time to cultivate, or they didn't want their cultivation to surpass their husbands to save face for their husbands. Do you think that's right? I asked him. No, Yu Fei Yuan said. Cultivation techniques are passed down mainly through men. Bloodline inheritance is mainly through men. Women are inherently lacking in resources, making cultivation even more difficult. I nodded. I found that all men under heaven are actually one person, with one tongue. They only say that women's cultivation won't have major breakthroughs, and that women are delicate and not firm enough. They never mention the secret techniques that are passed down from father to son, not to daughters. They never mention the double standards of the heavenly Tao for men and women becoming immortals. At this point, they've learned to unite and want to exclude women. So, all women under heaven are also the same person. Yu Fei Yuan, I decided not to kill you because I believe we share a similar fate. I understand, she said. I understand. You want to attain the Tao and become an immortal openly and honorably, like a man. No, I don't want to be like a man. I want to be myself. After me, the standards for men and women to attain the Tao and become immortal will be the same. Everyone will undergo the heavenly tribulation openly and honorably. Everyone can achieve enlightenment through their own Tao. Women don't have to be more virtuous. Virtuous means women competing with women for scarce resources. Women should compete with men. Whether it's competing in cultivation or in virtue, it should be under the same evaluation standards. The Great Tao is merciless. It never distinguishes between noble and lowly, or between men and women, old and young. They are all. Yu Feiyuan thought I was going to say ants, but then I uttered, people are all the same people. I turned and caught a phoenix flower floating in from outside. Phoenix flower. Phoenix originally refers to both the male Feng and the female Huang. It's the world that insists on using dragon to describe men and phoenix to describe women. Little do they know that phoenix can describe both men and women. I handed the phoenix flower in my hand to Yu Feiyuan. You're right. It's time for an unvirtuous, ungainly, unconventional woman to attain the Tao and become an immortal.